What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here today, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2012-13 Chicago Blackhawks. This is probably the best team that's ever been assembled for a very long time with Chicago, and it's truly impressive how a lockout kind of saved their season. To retrack a bit, 2011-12, we talked about how Phoenix knocked them out in 6 in the playoffs. They were predicted, okay, maybe this is a one-and-done team. Hossa gets injured in Game 3 of that series on an awful hit by Torres. He's out for the series. He doesn't come back. The late start that the lockout brought, they didn't start till January this year, and they only played 48 games. Hossa took that time to get recovered, and it showed on the ice. He was great that season. But this team overall was incredible. In the first 24 games, they went 21-0-3, which was an NHL record by a landslide. The previous record was like 16-0-4. This team went 21-0-3. That is incredible. They went that long without losing. Anyway, besides those facts out of the way, let's get right into this. Their record in 48 games, 36-7-5. And if they went 21-0-4 in the first half, that means they went 12-7-2 in that second half, which is definitely not as good, but still decent, I'd say. 15-7-2. My bad. That was for 77 points. They were first in the Central, first in the West, first in the league, which means they won the President's Trophy. So, amazing season for Chicago. Their coach was Joel Quenneville, and captain was Jonathan Toews, will be still for a while. Their goals for, second in the league with 155. Goals against, first with 102. So great offense, great defense. This team has everything. Their leading scorer was Patrick Kane. 23 goals, 32 assists, 55 points. Their best goalie, I put both Corey Crawford and Ray Emery on the board because Crawford went 19-5-5, and Ray Emery went 17-1. 17-1 for a backup goalie. I couldn't believe that stat when I looked it up. And I was like looking through their lineups and looking through how they did in the stats, and I saw 17-1, and I was amazed. The playoffs. This is where the story truly is. I beat Minnesota in 5. It wasn't much of an effort to beat them. Detroit, they were down 3-1 after winning Game 1. They were down 3-1, and they win in 7. They come back, and they win Game 5, win Game 6. They win Game 7 in overtime, even though they faced a controversial call that went against them in the last few minutes. They still won it in overtime. Then the reigning champions, the LA Kings, beat them in 5. Kane gets that hat trick in that Game 5 double OT winner, which sends them to the final. Where they play the Boston Bruins. They win Game 1 in overtime, in the triple overtime. They lose Game 2 in overtime. They get shut out in Game 3, so they're down 2-1. Game 4, they win in overtime, which was a do-or-die game for them. The problem with that game, the Hawks could not keep a lead. They were up 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-2, 3-2. Any lead you can think of, the Hawks had it, and they blew it that game, and they were lucky to win 6-5. Game 5, Hawks win. Game 6 is where the miracle, the Blackhawks version of a miracle, took place. Minute 16 seconds left in the third period. It's 2-1 Boston. Brian Bickle scores to tie the game, and everyone's thinking, okay, here we go, another overtime. 17 seconds later, and 17 seconds lives on in Chicago as what won them the cup. As 17 seconds later, Johnny Oduya takes a shot from the point, redirects, Boland's there in the front, he shoots, he scores, they're up 3-2 with 58 seconds to go. They run out the clock, they win the cup, they win their second in 4 years, and they kind of just stole it. That's what it was at the time. You just look at that, you see 17 seconds from a minute from Game 7. Next thing you know, they're walking away with the Stanley Cup in Boston. Overall, again, Boston was probably the best series out of everything that was here. It just had a lot of overtime, a lot of close games. LA, Chicago really got on Jonathan Quick, so that kind of made the series go only 5. Especially when Duncan Keith got suspended in Game 3 of that series. They won Game 4 without him because he slashed Jeff Carter in the face. If anyone remembers that. That was a whole thing at the time. Detroit, overcoming adversity, they were down 3-1. They win in 7. Excellent comeback. Minnesota, 8th seeded team, so they beat them in 5. Not much trouble there. This is the last team that's won a President's Trophy to win the Stanley Cup. And before that was the 2007-08 Red Wings. Those are the only 2 teams to do it in the salary cap era. Other than that, that's really all I have. Just an incredible team that really showed that Chicago was still good enough to win a cup, and that would set the expectation for the next 4 or 5 years or so. And that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.